So a little walk around my garden just to introduce some of the things that are going on. Here we have a couple of lemon trees grown from pips, and if we walk round here we can see this lavender. This comes from a cutting from Ashlar Road from Jim Harding's garden. And then there's a couple of tomatoes outside. We've got some of those in the greenhouse. There's a date palm from Dubai, all the way from Dubai, grown from a seed. And there's a fern in the old non-functional wood burning stove. Okay, if we look a little bit further, we're going to walk on up to the garden a bit more and I'll show you a few other things. Okay, so now we got the raised bed with the herbs, a couple of big sunflowers coming up, lots of chives, rosemary and so on, a nice feverfew. And over here on the other raised bed we've got some rocket. We've got a nice monkey puzzle tree which was given to us by Winterbourne Gardens, and here's the beetroot and the radish coming up, and the excellent Navara lettuce doesn't seem to get hit by the slugs. And here are the beginning of loads of the foxgloves that you'll see that we grew from seed. So here we have one of our apple trees. You can see the little apples coming on here, a little bit of aphid damage. This is a James Grieve. This is a cooker and an eater, doesn't keep well, but this reminds me of my granddad's garden because the smell of the apples really takes me back to going to see his apples in his garden. Victoria plum, those are coming on nicely. And a Morello cherry at the back there. More sunflowers here. And over there we've got a rose that's called Charles Darwin. So you can see where that comes from. Let's go on a bit further. Here's our Christmas tree in a pot. A bit of a big bonsai. You can see it's doing really well, growing on really nicely, keeping that nicely watered. And over on this side we've got another apple tree. This is an eater apple, just like you get in the supermarkets, but it's more of a keeper. Again, you can see quite a lot of aphid damage on that. We've got some gooseberries in here, the remains of the lupins, plenty more foxgloves. And here we have the top pond with some lilies showing, and the birds are loving this at the moment in the hot weather, drinking out of the water. If we go into the greenhouse, here we've got the tomatoes coming on. These are not Kenilworth King, but these are a small plum variety that Jessica gave me. One of my favourite things is pinching out, I'm sure you like this too, pinching out the little bits from the corners so they grow nice and tall. We've also got some cucumbers coming on. These have got some little cucumbers here already coming on, so we're looking forward to those in a few weeks. And we'll go on a little bit further. We've got some basil and some coriander here and some chilies. Going on a little bit further, here we've got the broad beans which we're already eating. Some leeks in there, the remains of the lupins which have done really well. More beetroot, and here we've got chickpeas, sweet corn, cabbage. These are celeriac, some French beans. Here's the potatoes, earlies in bags. I think we'll dig those in a couple of weeks. And over here are the Black Forest climbing courgettes. We're already eating these. You can see some nice little courgettes coming there, which we'll eat those. They grow so fast. Over here, these are the gooseberries. We're already eating those as well. Rhubarb's pretty well finished. Pear tree, haven't done very well for pears this year. We think they flowered in the cold weather when there weren't any insects. Probably should have gone out with a paintbrush. And finally, up to the shed, there's the black currants. Nice little yew tree in a pot. And finally, if we go to the back of the shed, you can see the machine, the compost, which drives everything. So I'll give you more of an update later on in a couple of weeks when things have moved on.